Best known as the former prison which housed some of South Africa's most iconic freedom fighters, the island, however, also has a multi-layered medical history of banishment, exile and stigma. It was for many decades a place to which society's outcasts were banished. Among these, patients who suffered from mental health issues and leprosy. The stigma around the chronic skin disease dates back to ancient times, and throughout the course of history, those affected were ostracized. The museum says similarly to the recent COVID pandemic, education is key to creating an inclusive and equal society.
We should be looking forward, and what we're not doing is helping our children, our young people, who constitute the vast majority of our population, to overcome the difficulties that not only COVID, but decades of neglect have created in our society. We need to invest in them so that they don't confront the things we confronted in the past. COVID, racism, apartheid, leprosy, any tendency to make people feel they are inferior.
Medical students attending the lecture also weighed in on the importance of education and awareness in order to break stigmas which come with a lack of knowledge or understanding.
I think breaking stigma starts with education. Stigma, I think, is based in uncertainty, not knowing, and it starts with educating somebody so that they know more and they realize that something that they thought was one thing ostracized does not have to be that way. Something as simple as leprosy. It's not contagious in the same way that we thought it was. So it's taking that education and leading it then to something else and making people realize that our stigma is not founded on something, and it's only when we break that barrier that we'll be able to move away from ostracizing people.
The rebranding of COVID-19 or any pandemic or disease that affects humanity negatively, medical intervention begins far before the general populace becomes aware of it. It comes from people themselves deciding to take on the task of, okay, we're going to try and get information about this so that we can prevent tragedy. That is the whole goal of the medical profession. And it's influence and the work that is done spans far beyond the treatment that society is aware of. We continue on doing research, developing other drugs or other methods of not only treatment but also prevention.
Robben Island Museum says it's committed to working against stigmatization and ostracization of any person or people in society. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.